Good evening, Jiten sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir has joined us.
Very good.
Yeah. So, with your due permission, can we start with the proceeding?
Sure. You can take
Yes.
permission from sir.
Yeah. So, very good evening to all the dignitaries, all the participants of this particular faculty development program. I, Dr. Kalicharan Modak, on behalf of IPS Academy, IBMR, welcome you all to this 2-week faculty development program on essentials of successful case-based teaching, sponsored by AICTE Training and Learning Academy. So today, the distinguished personality from the academics, Dr. Jitendra Mishra sir, have joined us, and Dr. Vivek Singh Kushwaha sir have also joined us. So I would like to call Dr. Vivek Singh Kushwaha sir on this virtual dais to kindly address the gathering.
Thank you so much, Kalicharan sir. In fact, I'm really delighted to be a part of this session. Myself and Dr. Jitendra Mishra sir is a very good friend. So we were associated from last more than or close to 25 years. So he's also a part of IPS family. Did his MBA from this institute and then associate as a faculty member with the institute. And as far as academics and his flair towards academic is concerned, is reflected, in fact, the days when he did his MBA. Then together, we completed our PhD under the guidance of Dr. Vishnu Dutt Nagar sir. And later on, Jiten worked with number of prestigious institutes, and today is a director of Maths Institute, Bangalore. So I'm really privileged to be a part of this session. So, Jiten, if you would like to add anything else.
Sir, it's indeed a privilege. I'm missing seeing you. I don't know why you're hiding behind the screen. But anyway, it is nice to take us through those nostalgic moments. I'm very much part of IPS Academy. I did my MBA, and you might not be knowing Vivek sir always look young, but he has taught me. So, and he has been instrumental in doing PhD, and he has been brother, family. He has been a guardian in Indore, and he remains to be my local guardian in Indore always. And what can be a better moment to spend time with your own institution where you have studied and you owe to that. So I'm so very happy and privileged, honored to be part of this session and being with all my Indorean fellows and Vivek sir, IPS Academy fraternity. It's a good moment that I was looking forward to. There were some challenges, but I thanks Vivek sir that he made sure that we should not miss connecting it. And I really am grateful to him for making this possible. So I'm very happy being part of this session, and I hope that we all will be happier after we conclude it. So I wish you all happy learning. Let us make it more enriching and more equipping us with the learning tools that we are looking to remain relevant teachers in the changing times. The challenge in the present time is to remain relevant teachers. The disruptions we are going through are unprecedented. So thank you, sir, for coming on the screen. Thank you very much. So thank you, and we look forward to let us get to session. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Sure. Best wishes for the session. So, Mishra sir, we will be in touch. As
Yes, sir.
you are our member of Academic Council also. So
Yes.
today, yes, we missed you. But definitely, as far as our connect is concerned and your inputs related to academic would add lot of value in the development of our institute. Thank you. So best wishes for the session.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Look
Thank-
forward to meeting you in person.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a privilege to introduce sir.
I think it's enough. We can start the session. Otherwise,
No, sir, it will take hardly 1 minute, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Please permit me to introduce you, sir. Yeah. So, my dear friends, today we are having Dr. Jitendra Kumar Mishra, sir, the Director, MATS Institute of Management and Entrepreneurship, Bangalore. A PhD holder in economics, Dr. Mishra's experience spread over a period of 2 decades in various facets of academia. Being a vibrant teacher in the course of his professional journey, he has gained proficiency not only in different aspects of sense of teaching, research, administration, and institutional building, but also in handling cross-cultural scenario, as he has worked with people having varied background. Being a researcher himself, Dr. Mishra has published his research in reputed national and international journals. His area of research include economic policy, international business, higher education, consumer behavior, materialism, and sustainable development. So he's a reviewer for the reputed international journal, PhD examiner, and supervisor with eminent universities. Dr. Mishra has served as director and dean at reputed management institutes in the country. He was nominated by the Chairman University Grant Commission as an expert for drafting subject-specific template for learning outcome-based curriculum framework for undergraduate level program in management. He is the founder member of AIMS Research and Fellowship Grant ARIF Committee and had served as a regional vice president, Southern Region Association of Indian Management School. So on behalf of IBMR IPS Academy family, I take this privilege to welcome you, sir. So without wasting much time, now I would like to hand over this virtual dais to you, sir.
Thank you, Kalicharan sir. Thank you very much. So welcome all the participants. I can see some 30 participants are there. It's a great opportunity to interact and learn mutually. I could see that this faculty development program is dedicated to case-based teaching expertise, and we are towards the first weekend. So you are exactly halfway of the program. Is that correct? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So we will quickly try to set our expectation. We will understand that what all we have accomplished, and that way we will try to tune this session to connect to our expectation more closely rather than making it a supply driven, that I tell something and you agree, which is very common in otherwise teaching parlance. So we are going to make it more interactive as it is a case-based teaching process. So we are going to make it more interactive. And since you all are teachers and you have been in the profession for quite some time, you all know it. So we will try to make it understanding for 31 people who are there in this meeting. When we go as kind of individuals who have got common and shared understanding about case teaching method, and we will have the perspective. So this is how we are going to take it forward. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me first ask you that what is that you expect from the session? The title is very, very simply put that teaching through cases, effectively teaching through cases. What is that you expect? Because a lot on that has already happened. How to take a case forward, how to facilitate a case. You have gone through various sessions other than what you have been doing in your regular professional engagement. In the workshop also, in this FDP also, you have gone through multiple sessions. Today, when we are interacting, what is there in your mind? What would you like to learn? What is that you have come prepared that this is what is your expectation? You need to speak.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Myself, Dr. Shubhangi Jain. My expectations with this means FDP is to learn how to make our classes more interactive, how to make students interested in solving this case study based approach. So I wanted to learn how to make our classes interactive, how to get attention of the students when they are solving case study.
Okay, so you have put 3 points. One is making the session interactive, more so like involving student, creating interest of students and drawing their attention. So this is what you expect. Wonderful.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Yes, Who is the next? Others, I think we all are voluntarily sitting here.
Yes, good evening, sir. Dr. Jayant Singhani.
Good evening.
Sir, like so far by now, we know the traditional ways of solving a case like SWOT analysis, introduction, and the conclusion and all of that. There are some, steps which are being outdated. So maybe we want to know and learn the new skills to become more efficient in, first of all, skill ourselves and then impart this to our students.
So skill is a very general word. Skill involve is a very global kind of thing. Skill includes a lot of things. What is that you expect from this session? If you talk of a skill, what kind of a skill you expect?
Sir, first of all, conceptualization, conceptual skills, technical skills, and also analytical skills.
Okay, so you want to develop conceptual skill, analytical skill, and
also the technical skills, like technical ways of analyzing a case and perceive a case and solve a case.
Okay. Pertaining to, it is all pertaining to handling a case.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Jaya. Yes, anybody else?
Good evening, sir. This is Dr. Gagan from IPS Academy, IBMR. So, with no change in the university evaluation pattern over a decade, the students approach case study with mental block. So, it is at times difficult for we teaching fraternity to create interest, and rather we try to push it. So, this is the case. This it becomes the case. So, how to go about it? How to handle this? How to take them cases in the interesting manner, and so that the students actually learn the not only the this analytical skill, but they do understand that how it is going to impact their future career.
Okay, so you brought two things. One is removing the mental block, which to my mind relate to a student not coming prepared to class or not reading the case. And second, you talk about facilitation skill, that how can we facilitate the case, learning through case more effectively. These are the two aspects you brought. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Who is going to tell it next?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, please.
Good evening. My name is Sanju. So three things I would like to know from your side. One is what the simplest method you prefer to solve any case study so that we can guide the student. And second one, what procedure or what approach you refer while developing the case. And third one, how we can target the the journals, good journals, the publisher where we can publish this case. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So last part will not emphasize how to target good journal for publication, because given the time frame, our objective for the session is very clear, because if you take into get into other domain, we will lose on this time, so that we can discuss offline or some other time. All right, because publication and research is altogether a very comprehensive and serious business. So we cannot just touch base casually being teachers and say, okay, it's over. So that we will not take. But yes, the other points, how to solve case and how to use a given framework or what is a preferred method, that we'll surely take. Okay. Mr. Sanju, Dr. Sanju, is that okay?
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Perfect. Yes, next one.
Good evening, sir. This is Dr. Tarika Nandekar. I just want to know how to deal with the cases while solving the numerical subjects like operations and all, because it's very difficult to demonstrate students' cases and the numerical part both simultaneously. So how to deal both parts simultaneously, that's I want to know.
Very nice. Very interesting question. We'll touch base, Tarika. Thank you. Thank you for bringing it. Good. Because we need to see here, we are there to solve our problem. Am I right? So we all are teaching by whatever way we think is going to work in the class, and we have some experience, I say. We always have some experience, we have some expectations, we have some ambition to do the things better. So if we know it, we can more, directly address that, and we can utilize the time better, isn't it? So in that sense, I wanted to have an understanding that what you are carrying in your mind, so that I could connect it to that, and it looks more personalized learning rather than a disconnected learning. You have come here because you are forced to sit, and I have got a mandate, so I have to do some job. After we part with, we go like we were never met. So that should not be the case. Okay. Who is going to tell quickly? Two more people can contribute, then we will take it to next level.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
Can I continue?
Yes.
Yeah, Shalini ma'am, please. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Sir, I just want to know that a case study for an outstanding student is easy. But the student who are weak or average student, they feel hard to solve the case study questions. So I just want to know how to make them understand the case studies. Like in the class that everyone should be like engaged equally. So I just want to know that.
Perfectly all right. Wonderful. So you are trying to understand that how to make the how to facilitate case more effectively in a heterogeneous class where your group of students are having different capabilities and different level of their background in academics and understanding. Good. Last one. Thank you, Shalini. Last one.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yeah. Deepti Shastri this side. I have one question similar to what Dr. Tarika has asked, that because I belong from finance domain, so even same problem I face while teaching my students finance and accounting. So in finance and accounting, actually, sir, frankly, the usage of case-based teaching is very, very low. That I want to confess here. So that kind of wisdom, I want to get from your side, that how to include cases in especially teaching accounting and finance, and at the same time how we can keep these cases in sync with the syllabus, because at the end of the year and at the end of the semester, actually students want to see that, madam, whether you have completed all the topics of our syllabus or not. So that's that, because overnight we cannot shift our students to case-based teaching. So we have to suffice both the things, their creative approach and syllabus
balancing between the both. So wonderful. You again brought a very nice point, that how to sync between the completion of syllabus and learning through cases. So I have got a fair idea. If I could summarize it, one aspect that has come up is how to draw attention of a student, engage them, make them read the case so that the case facilitation become easy. This is one aspect. Second is how to make that facilitation more interactive, engaging, and learning oriented. And third was how to handle the class diversity, or how to handle the course diversity, as from finance to HR or operations to computer science, how to address that course diversity while adapting the case. And in between, how to ensure that case doesn't eat away the time given for completion of the course, so that at the end we don't have any sense that we compromise learning. Is that okay? So these are the 4 points I keep in mind when I move forward. Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for making me understand that what we are going to do. This is one important aspect. If you could notice, I try to set the learning outcome for the session. Is that okay? We set 4 learning outcomes. So before you start teaching through case, without case, anything, you need to have the learning outcome, because whatever you are doing, that should be aligned to that outcome. And at the end, you should be able to assess that whether and how much those outcomes has been attained. This is one primary thing. So I also try to follow when I'm interacting with you, a lot of things I will do to demonstrate that how can we make or how can we practice such things in the class, which are very trivial, which are very simple, very easy and simple, but many times we don't pay attention to it. So this is the first thing. Anytime when you are going to interact or teach, you should have the outcome very clear in mind. so that the efforts and resources all are aligned. Now, before I come to address all this, in fact, in next 2 hours or so, we will be addressing each of these outcomes and we'll try to see that how it is attained. Let me ask you another very basic and fundamental question. What do we teach in management? You all are from management fraternity, you are teaching management graduates?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then this question is valid. Otherwise, I will have to modify.
Few
So,
research scholars are also
right.
there, sir.
Management domain. No?
Yes, sir.
So domain is same. So my question is, what do we teach in management? Somebody joining management program, what we try to teach them? When they pass out, what should they carry? Is my question clear? I repeat, what do we teach in management program? And I mean that when your students complete the program, what would you expect them to carry? When I conclude this session, I will expect you to understand what case is, where and how to use the case, how can ensure learning through case, and how can you measure the learning. These are the aspects that we discussed. And this is on the similar line, I'm asking you other very fundamental question, that what do we teach in management program?
Good evening, sir.
Good
Myself, Mayank Jain.
Yes, Mayank.
Whatever we teach in management, the basic outcome should be that how to optimally utilize the available scarce resources.
Okay. Optimally utilize. What does it mean? How does it happen?
By efficiently using the resources.
The same thing, optimally utilize, efficiently utilize. What is, how does it happen? How will you ensure that they optimally utilize the resource? What do they do to optimally utilize the resource?
Now, I'm saying that this is the basic objective of learning management courses, studying management courses.
I'm asking, what do we teach in management? And I also try to clarify, when your students are completing the program, what should they be able to do? How would you see that they have completed the management in right sense? What you have said is clear. Objective is, that is what we aim. The management is about making you make an optimal use of resources, because resources are scarce. That's very simple. But what do we teach? What do you teach every class?
How to use the theoretical concepts and apply them in the business resources, business world.
Okay. Anybody else?
So teaches them.
Hello.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. This is Dr. Chavi Saxena. Basically, sir, we are teaching the students to make the decision regarding whatever forte they are having, specialization, linking up the theory with the real-time situation in business organization, and they should be prompt and aware of the various constraints of the resources.
Very nice, very nice. So you further added that when it comes to optimally utilizing the resources, what are we teaching them? Decision making. What are we teaching them? Decision making.
Excuse me, sir.
Is that okay? So
yes, sir.
You have to take decision to ensure that your resources are optimally utilized. So your objective is to optimally utilize the resource, and you are taking decisions to ensure that resources are optimally utilized. Isn't it?
Yes.
So
yes.
Every organization is trying to optimize the profit. I'm not getting into profit versus wealth maximization debate. I'm saying every organization aim to maximize the profit. Now, what decision they take which can add to a profit maximization, or their decision ensures whether they have been able to do that or not. So ultimately, what you are doing, you are trying to help them taking decision. You are trying to make them taking decision. Is that okay?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So good evening, sir.
Good evening.
This is Dr. M.S. Vasu. So
yes,
as Mayank sir said that, so we need to use optimally the resources and in the teaching and each and every field, and we are trying to make the utilization of the resources less, and which we are making and take into the effectively and efficiently, the outcome could be optimally, sir. With the less resources, and we are trying to.
Yes. I think you have got muted. Yes. Just continue, please. Yes, you continue, please.
That is that optimal utilization of resources means, so with less resources, with less efforts, and so we need to
less input, more output.
Sir. Yeah. So that is the ultimate of the output, sir. The each and every the management of the field, and though, as you said, the outcome of the student, and each and every field they have to show their efficiency in such a way, sir. So that is my perception, sir.
So
further to add on this.
Good evening, sir.
Yes.
So may I speak?
Yes, please. Tell your name.
Yes, sir, I'm Dr. Gagan. And
Yes,
sir, we actually teach students to make the most of the available resources. Number one. Number two, to weigh down all the alternatives and the possible solutions to a problem with the opportunity cost, because everything comes with a cost. And number three, the application part of it, how to apply your knowledge to achieve desired results.
So you are trying to make it more complicated. Huh? See, when you say efficiency, it is less input, more output. That's what is efficiency. When you say optimum, in optimum thing, you try to take a larger perspective. Optimum is a better word than efficient. You may be efficient in one thing, but you may not be optimum. For example, you may be a great finance manager, but because of your financial control, the organizational profit and growth is at risk because you don't release the finance for other ventures. So you may be efficient as a finance manager, but you are not an optimally result achieving manager. So when you are saying optimum use, it takes into account the variety of constraints and situations and try to see that the net outcome of the entire function is best possible of all the alternatives. All right. So the previous one, the gentleman.
And sir, further, can I ask?
Hold on. So that was one part I wanted to add here at this point. And secondly, when you are saying that we apply the resources and we apply the resources and we try to optimize, and it's all expansion. Simple thing. What do you do to do this all you are counting on? You are a manager. You have to increase the profit in your function. Say you are a marketing manager, you have to enhance the sale. What will you do? Just count on. You are a marketing manager in your organization. Your mandate is to increase the sales revenue by 30%. What will you do?
We need to identify the different alternative course of action, sir. And so what are the ultimate objective to fulfill for that?
No, objective is very clear. Let us be very clear. Your mandate is you need to increase sales revenue by 30%. Simple. At the end of the quarter, your boss, whoever is the boss, is going to ask you in the board meeting, how much have you achieved? That's all. What
cost cutting, sir? Cost cutting.
So for that,
you will do cost cutting. Okay, you do cost cutting.
Yeah.
Got it. Keep your answer simple because we want to move to next. So you will do cost cutting. Perfectly all right. What else you will do? Everybody can speak.
Sir, we'll find the way through which we can promote. We can promote products so that it
you will try to use innovative or more effective promotion tools.
True. Yes.
Some innovation in products. Some innovation in products.
That you are not, because 3 months you can't innovate a product and get it to market to increase sales revenue. When you have got a mandate of sales revenue, it means you have got the product in hand, no?
Okay.
sir, we need to
giving some offers.
organization.
Control on wastage of
That is
resources.
cost cutting one person has said.
Okay.
So cost cutting include both to reduce the wastage and to check the leakages. Okay.
So we need
want
to increase the output, sir. We need to review the readiness.
There is no output. There is no output. You want to have the result that add to revenue. You need to increase sales.
So that is an output that we need to increase.
The promotion.
So you have to do this.
Sales promotion. Yes. Increase sales promotion.
That somebody has said. Let us not repeat. Sales promotion, cost cutting, control wastage. What else? Tell me.
Depending upon the kind of the product, we can also transfer higher margins to the distributors or to rather check our distribution strategies.
Okay.
In order to
so you
are
trying to work out more effective margin scheme or incentive.
Sir, I
Yes,
will
sir.
check if whether my staff is skilled and the required training is given to them. Are they
Perfect.
ready
You will
to
try to impart training to make your staff more efficient.
human resource?
Okay,
Yes.
let us stop here and count on. When you are saying that you will work on cost cutting, what are you going to do? You are deciding what to do, what not to do, what to do more, what to do less.
Effective utilization of
Hold
resources.
on, hold on.
Yes, sir.
That's over. That's over. But I'm asking, let us do it. Otherwise, it will not conclude. So this is also an important part, that you should not allow your discussion to go divergent, because you have to keep it aligned so that you achieve your discussion objective. Discussion objective is to understand what do we teach in management. And management teaching has come two things. Objective is to optimize the resources, and for that we teach them decision making. All right. So somebody has got variety of ideas. So we take an example, and here when you count, when you are saying cost cutting, so for cost cutting, what we'll do? You take decisions. You will decide what to do, what not to do, what to do more, what to do less, where to spend, where not to spend. Isn't it? Is that right or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it a decision making?
Yes, sir.
When you are deciding about promotion, you see that existing promotion schemes or promotion campaigns are good enough, or I need to change it. Do I need to increase advertising and promotion budget or reduce it? Should I change the agency, or should I go with the same? Should I change the the context of the advertising, or the very spirit and message in the campaign, or should I go with the similar thing? Isn't it a decision making?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yes, it is.
Exactly.
Yes, it is.
So
yes, it
if
is.
you have to decide about that, whether your margin of profit or incentive to your distributor is to be changed to motivate them for making the sales more, you are going to decide about how much should be the margin and how should the pricing be done, so that both your profit and the margin of the distributor is matched optimally. Is that decision making or not? You can keep counting. So ultimately, you see, in all the context, you are teaching them. You are teaching them
decision making.
Decision making. And how many kind of decisions are there? How many kind of decisions are there? There are enormous
program and non-programmed. Program and non-programmed
decisions. Innumerous decisions they have to take. Right now, you are in one role. You are taking variety of decisions. As simple problem, you have to increase your sales revenue by 30% in the next quarter. We counted on decision, and if I allow, I think you continue for next 2 hours, you will keep counting on the kind of decision we need to take. So we have to take variety of decision, innumerous decision. Why do we take innumerous and variety of decisions? Because
problems are different.
Because the manager play various roles. A manager plays various roles in an organization.
Problems are different.
For example, what roles do they play? Who is speaking?
Yes, sir. Initiator, licensing, he has to do. So
for being productive and profitable.
Hold on. Let us go one by one. Of course, every individual in every sphere of life plays multiple roles. But when you are sitting in the role of your organization, you have a KRA.
Yes, key result area.
You have got your KRAs. You have got your KPAs also.
Yeah, key performance.
And what makes you to reach there? You need to prioritize. You need to decide. You need to deliver. And in all that, you are taking decisions. So if you go to the final level, whatever may be the objective, whatever is the guiding principle, whatever is the context, whatsoever may be the constraints, in all that you are deciding about something. And the end of the decision or the outcome of that decision help you achieve something. So when you are saying that you have to take licensing, you need to expand your network, you need to get your business done. You have to decide about whom to license. You just do not go because I have to do licensing, so I'm wandering on the road and I'm licensing with somebody. You need to identify who is the right person, who is going to help you in the organization. Whether you need to go to the operation manager, or you need to meet the project head or the plant head. You need to decide. So at the bottom line, if you see, as a manager, and when I'm saying manager, it includes leader also. It may be vice president or CEO. So when he is in a role, he has to take decision. And this is what the management program try to teach them. They try to teach them the decision making through a process. Not like you close your eyes and you get a decision. That is not what we teach. What do we teach? We teach them framework. We equip them with tools. We teach them the processes to take best possible decision. There are no right decision, there are no wrong decision. That only result will tell. But what we tell them? To take best possible decision. And these decisions have variety. In the same small problem, they may have to address or trade off or balance variety of things, and therefore they have to take variety of decisions. And these decisions are being taken under uncertainty. You don't know. You are going to increase the margin of your distributor, and tomorrow you go bankrupt. Are you sure that your margin will fetch you get the result? No, you don't know. You are trying to reduce the cost, and maybe your vendor stops supplying on the procurement. Or suppose the cost increases. You are trying to cut short the cost, and the supply side, because of the constraint, your cost is increasing, which is not in your control. The supplies are restricted. The automobile companies were trying to be making the price very competitive. Semiconductors cost increases, the supplies stopped. All the cars has to increase the price. So you are operating in an uncertain future. You don't know what the future is going to be. And in such situations, the consequences of the decisions are also not very certain. And therefore, what do? You make projections. You try to set, if it happens, how can I handle, or what is the possibility of the outcome? If I increase the margin, I have got 100 distributors, 70 will respond like this, other 20 will respond some other way. You make projection and you make judgment about the probability and intuition. So that is, if you see, finally, when you are taking decision, you are using your judgment. What you're doing? You're using judgment because our consequences are not known. Future is uncertain. So based on your understanding, using a process, making the projection, arriving at the alternative, you are finally making a judgment.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
So based on my past experiences and based on the knowledge which I have in past, can I make some judgments and projections and save myself from the negative consequences? Is experience doesn't help in this?
Experience is also part of it, but intuition or experience is not something based on which professional decisions are taken. Your business decisions are not taken because you have a gut feel. Gut feel supports it. Even if you have got a gut feel, it becomes a hypothesis. You need to verify, you need to discuss it. And then everybody try to bring in the diverse perspective. So you say that if we try to increase the margin of the distributor, sales is going to increase. Somebody will say market is stagnant. Even if you increase the margin, you are going to lose from your profit margin. Market is stagnant. Sales is not happening at all. So your gut feel, or individual's gut feel and intuitions are one intermediate processes. What do we teach? We teach scientific process of decision making. People don't come to us to meditate and imagine or experience and decide, because your experiences are limited. How many experiences can a person have in lifetime? You see the variety in the decision making, uncertainty in the future, it's innumerous. What you can do, this is what you teach. You teach them how to think, how to assess a situation. What is the way to understand the situation? This is what you teach. You can't teach that how to take decision. You cannot give a book like, if this is a situation, this is going to be the decision. Because the situations you can never list. Whatever you do, every time you will face a new situation. Has that been so simple, I think the knowledge would not have been evolving. So the process that we need to be very clear that we teach decision making, and there you need to use judgment. And this is under imperfect knowledge. This is using imperfect knowledge, because whatever codified or absolute you consider, is not going to work because you operate in a very dynamic, ever-evolving situation. Has Adani imagined that this report will come and he will face this situation? He was on TV and talking all gung-ho, but he has to deal with it. That's a part of life. It's nothing new. Anybody can face. So what do you teach? If the situation is there, how can he sail through? Now he need to quickly zero down that what are his options, and he has to play on that. He has to take decisions, and he's taking decisions. So this is what we teach, a scientific way of approaching a situation, understanding a situation by scientific analysis and applying the alternative in a best possible way, There is no perfect way. Is that clear? Are we on the same page?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is what we need to clear. And then I will take the question of Salini and Deepti, Tarika and Deepti, who brought it into later part. And it is about what are our pedagogical choices? Is the case only method or is the case the best method? I asked two questions. Is the case only method of teaching effectively, or is the case best method of teaching effectively?
It is not only a method.
Perfect.
Like the slides which you are showing just now. So yes, there are numerous methods, and again it depends upon the subjects and topics, like which type of method is best for teaching that particular topic. That's great. But best thing with case analysis is like if you are using cases, then you must be
Okay, you complete it, please.
So the best part which we have learned from past 5 days that by case analysis, I think you are handling and improving, enhancing 4 or 5 skills of the students parallelly, which is not possible, I guess, through other traditional way of teaching.
Okay. And you only pose the question that how should I handle cases in accounting?
That is still my question, sir.
So 2 things you are putting together. Anyway, all right. Any other answer? What other things? My again questions are 2. What Deepti, na?
Yes, sir, Deepti.
Yeah, Deepti is saying that case is not the only method. There are multiple methods, and that we all know. And secondly, case may not be the best method. That also she says. This is what you're saying? What is others' view? What does others think? I think everybody has to speak. I think to call names.
Yes.
Only few people are speaking, as if others are switching off their video and busy with
Many.
No, yes, sir. I agree with Dipti ma'am. The other methods are there. Storytelling may be the other method. Peer, studies can be the other method. So case study is not the only one. The other methods are also there.
Good.
And it depends on subject. It depends on the students.
So is the case best method to teach?
Yes, sir. It is the best method, if not the only method, but the best method.
Who is speaking?
Dr. Jaya.
Jaya, case is the best method. Okay, perfectly all right. What about others? Dr. Ruchi?
So I will say that it's not only the method. There could be other ways also, but yes, it depends upon with which topic you like to correct the case with. There could be some topics which can be taught with the help of a case study. There are other topics which could be, taken care with the other activities too. It could be like simulation, it could be the role playing, it could be many other methods too.
So that's perfectly all right. There are many others can keep their mic muted because it's unnecessarily creating noise. So Ruchi, Ruchi Mehra, you are saying that case is not the only method, but is the case best method?
Yes, sir. Case is the best method because we are creating.
I asked it to Ruchi. Na? Okay, Ruchi is good.
Okay.
So you are also agreeing that case is the best method, Ruchi?
Sir, I am not saying that case is the best method, but I'm saying this thing that it just depends upon what you want to relate with.
Okay, got it. So we have got two views. Ruchi Mehra says case is not the best method. One thing we all agree that there are other methods, so that is not a debate. But case is not the best method, what Ruchi says, and Jaya says case is the best method. What
So
about
I say
others?
it's not only the best method.
Best is best only, no? Best is only best. There is not less best and more best. Best means the best, isn't it? It's a superlative.
Fine,
Neeraj, you want to say something? Is the case
Yes,
best method?
sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Case can be a better method, but in my opinion, learning through movies or teaching through videos can also be a better method, because most of our learning comes from easily from videos.
Okay. Okay. So you also agree to Ruchi that case is not the best method.
So I think.
Sir,
what does Neha
talking,
say?
Learning through movie can be the best.
All right. You are saying learning through movie is the best. Okay. All right.
Sir, if we are talking about decision making, so case method is best method.
Who is there?
If we are talking, yes, this is Sanju, sir.
Sanju. Okay. You are also saying case is the best method. All right.
If we are talking about decision making,
all
but
right.
if
We are talking about
talking
decision making. That part we agree. Then only we move.
Okay. So in that case, it is
perfectly all right. Neha Srivastava. Are you there, Neha? Madhuri? People are not there.
Sir, I'm here. My voice is not good. I'm not feeling well. Sorry. I feel case-based study is a good option, and there may be many more other things can be indulged while teaching, because we have to be multidimensional while teaching the student. We need to take care of other aspects as well.
All right.
So
all right.
This is my understanding that case is one of the good method, but we can opt many other ways to improve their communication skills and make them interactive in the class by GD, personality development classes. That's my view, sir.
Okay, good. Ajit Tomar, last response.
Sir, can I speak, Dr. Shubhangi?
Yeah, please.
Sir, to provide practical exposure, case can be the best method, but there are some other methods also, like we can go for movies. And
so you are trying to be political. You want academic answer, not political answer. Anyway, I noted your point. Ajit.
Sir, for this thing, I have an opinion that for practical, giving a practical exposure regarding some subjects or some topic, case study can be the method. But to demonstrate that that particular topic, we need to first of all give them a theoretical aspects and other aspects of, and to demonstrate the theoretical aspect into a industry, we can use case study and other methods also, sir.
Let us understand that what case can do and what case cannot do. All right. What case can do, what case cannot do. We have got variety of methods for teaching, and all have got something to do with it. There is no single method. I repeat, and you can note it in inverted quotes. No single method can meet all the learning objectives. I repeat, no single learning method can make you meet all the learning outcomes or learning objectives. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So as a facilitator, as a teacher, you need to have variety of tools and interventions in your repertoire. जो आपकी तर्कश है, उसमें बहुत सारे तीर होने चाहिए. एक ही तीर से सारे शिकार नहीं कर सकते. What you use to kill a lion, you will not be able to use the same to kill a bird, because you need to have a much faster speed or a different kind of aiming. So the single method cannot or does not make you meet all that. Then the question comes, what do we get out of a method, or when a method works better, and how can we choose the best method for facilitation? All right. So if you see, when you use lecture, what do? Or when to use lecture? Lectures normally help you communicate better the concepts, the facts, theories or frameworks, which are used to facilitate participants develop their own opinion and understanding. So when you are taking lectures, you try to share the concepts or facts or theories or frameworks where students try to respond simultaneously along with you and they develop their own opinion. All right. For example, when you are teaching Maslow's theory, you are trying to discuss about the various needs. You take various examples. You ask questions, what is the student's view? And they respond. In the process, they develop their own understanding. They develop their own opinion. They develop their own view. And that's what they take away as their learning. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So when
Yes,
when you are using lecture in terms of concepts, facts, or theories, or any framework or tool, then you try to share it, and students are part of that discussion and they develop their own opinion. That is how they learn. And when can you use it? When you are teaching something very complex. For example, how inflation is derived. What affects inflation? Now you have to give you have to bring a lot of examples, illustrations, situations by which you say that this is how it works, or you need to derive an equation. If you have to derive a demand equation, you have to derive about the pricing. You can use certain things which can help you do it better when there is a complexity in the concept which uses multiple variables, which is very, very, complex in nature. For example, people were saying, how can I teach accounts? Obviously, when you are teaching accounts, your lecture can be good. You can draw the formats, you can make why you make entry in one way, and students can ask the question that if two things look similar, how to differentiate it, why to put it here or there. If you're teaching accounting, you can use lecture effectively. Deepti and Tarika.
Yes, sir.
So you
Yes,
can
sir.
use lecture because you are teaching something which is very complex and where you are using the concepts which involve multiple variables and all. There is another way we call it talk. Normally we call it as expert talk. Have you heard of it? Expert talk.
Yes, sir.
So what does expert talk do? Experts come and they talk about their expertise. For example, Ratan Tata can talk, how did he build Nano?
Yes, sir.
He only brought Nano. So he can only talk best. Nobody else can talk as he can talk, isn't it? In that, you don't have anything to form opinion. You have to see, and you can agree, disagree, like, dislike, but he makes a talk, you have to understand. Bill Gates can talk, how did he make the Microsoft? Anybody, for that matter, can talk as an expert. In expert, he shares his opinion or experience or methods of doing the things, and that's what is his expertise. He shares. You have nothing to make your opinion or anything else. You are not participating in that. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
What do we do in class? Do we lecture or do we talk?
Sir, sometimes we need to lecture students. Sometimes lecture method is used when your audience or your students are unaware about the topic at all. Then I think more of lecturing would help. And then we can correlate after the theoretical understanding is done. Then we might connect it with the talk thing where we can share our experience or examples of, elaborating that concept more easy for
you are mixing it. You are mixing it.
Most of the sir, actually we are taking lectures.
True.
Because
We are taking lectures, not
because
talk.
expertise are not there as much. You talk about, for example, Ratan Tata and like that. So these kinds of expertise we are not having. So we are just theoretically and conceptually explaining the things, the frameworks we are explaining to the students, and we just help them to understand the concepts. So actually, the method we adopt is a lecture method. I think that.
One more thing I would like to add, sir. We take lectures so that they can understand talk.
Okay, good. One of you who can tell me or who can make me understand exactly how does your lecture progress? You go to class, you have teach a topic. I can take one person as an example. so that we can make it more connected. Any one of you can volunteer. Who will volunteer? One person.
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. Tarikana.
Yes,
Dr.
sir, I can also.
No, who said first?
Dr. Jaya. Dr. Jaya.
Dr. Jaya. Okay, Dr. Jaya, you are volunteering. Good. So, Jaya, what course do you teach?
Sir, management, HRM, general.
We all teach management, and you know that everybody does management program. Which courses they study?
Human resource management.
Okay, human resource management is also having various courses. So you teach HRM in first semester?
It depends which semester I've been assigned the subject.
No, but that course normally comes in first semester.
But I teach business communication, e-shape, and so many others.
I am not auditing. You tell me which course where you teach, especially so that I can quickly tell it. I don't know why are you so confused. You are
business
teaching
communication.
Okay.
You can. Yeah.
Okay, all right. You teach business communication in semester 1. When you go to class, suppose you have to teach about the written communication. All right. So how do you start your class? Don't take it as any kind of offense or kind of. We are trying to relate it. As I told in the beginning, we all are learners and we are trying to solve our problems. So and that's how it is volunteered. It is not chosen. So you will help all of us understand something more clearly. That's the only objective. So when you go to the class, suppose you have to teach written communication. How do you start your class?
So I will first of all try to make a connection between all the other.
You tell what you do. Don't tell me what and why. You tell exactly. Suppose you are there in the class and we all are your student. You started. You are a teacher. You are facilitating class to all of us. What do you do? How do you start?
So I will start as like in a business, communication plays a major role. And so far we have understood the importance of verbal communication, non-verbal communication, listening skills also, reading, write. So writing is also one of the main skill which is required to execute the business, because business letters, business reports, and so many other things you need to be good at writing, because in business, writing skills are also important. So one should be knowing the way, the formal language, the how you use it. So you need to be equipped with all the aspects of communication in business. So today we'll learn about the writing skills.
Okay, and then next.
Then maybe as per the syllabus, whatever the.
No, you are teaching communication. You are teaching written communication. Now, why are you going to syllabus? Your class is fixed. Now. You must have the session plan. You are going to teach written communication in the given session, say session number 5.
Whatever topic is under the written skills.
Okay, let me move on. Let me move on. I think we are not able to connect properly, but whatever you said has made the enough point to take it forward. Okay. You started the class. Good morning, students. Today we are going to study written communication. As we have completed verbal and non-verbal communication in organization, written communication is very important. I am going to tell you that what are the various forms of writing to the organization. I am going to tell you how to write an email, how to write a memo, how to write this, and then you start giving them format. This is how you start. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Is it talk or is it a lecture?
It's a lecture. So.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, Jaya, you just hold. Anybody else who will help us understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. May I, sir? Sir.
No, you tell your name and let others
yes, sir,
also
Shalini
contribute.
Singh.
Hold on. Let all contribute, because we want to hear from everybody. We all are intelligent. Okay. Otherwise, we'll miss some intelligence if somebody doesn't speak.
Sir, I want to contribute in this. So my name is Shalini Singh, and I take lecture on economics.
No, that part is over. No, don't go back to that. I'm just putting the question simple. I don't know if you get it. My question, I just wanted to have an incident to relate to it, because if also I tell everything vaguely, there will be confusion. You all will be going with different understanding. So just to make it one, I'm taking something as an illustration. So what did Jaya did, she facilitated us to have an clear-cut illustration, which is same for all of us, because she just said that we all heard. So there is no confusion. We have got the same common reference, and that is what we are using to bring clarity. So you tell, is it a lecture or a talk?
Good evening, sir. Can I add something?
No, somebody was saying, no? Somebody
No,
was
sir,
saying.
actually, yes, sir. Actually, I am saying,
Is it
but
a lecture or a talk? Just answer this question.
Sir, it may be a talk, I guess.
Okay, leave it.
Sir, may I?
Okay.
Who
Sir,
is
may I?
that? Who is that?
Sir, this Madhuri. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, I think it is a lecture. Basically, you are providing some concept to the students related to the written communication.
Perfect, perfect. It's a lecture. Somebody else was trying to speak in between, the gentleman.
Yes, yes. My name is Sanju. Sir, we take lecture as Jaya madam said.
I'm not asking what did Jaya just demonstrated. Is that a lecture or talk? I'm not asking what you do. What is that? Simple.
It is lecture, sir, and we used to take lectures, sir, not talk.
All right. Anybody else? Last one.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm from IB and I worked as export manager in 2-3 pharmaceutical companies. So while I deliver my lecture, and if it is related to export related something, so I'll give my real-time examples. What I inquired.
Neha, you are again taking us to different track. My simple question, because we want to close it.
Yes,
I'm not asking anybody. I'm not asking anybody what you do and whether you do it right or wrong. That I'm not doing. I have a simple illustration to relate. My question is, in your opinion, is it a lecture or a talk?
So I try mixture of both, combination of both.
I'm not asking what you do. What does now Jaya demonstrated? Would you call it a lecture or a talk?
Lecture, sir.
Lecture. Okay. Now here we move to next. If I go to a class and say, students, you have learned the verbal and non-verbal communication. What do you think about other forms of communication? And then everybody will tell something. Do you think that it works in organization? Somebody will tell something. Then I say, why is it important? What if it is done differently? What is the difference between the two situations that Jaya just demonstrated and that alternative I am sharing with you? Is there any difference?
Sir, what Jaya ma'am says about the lecture, but sir, what you say is a talk.
See,
excuse me, sir.
Just hold on. You read the two definitions. When I'm giving students to build their opinion, participate in the learning process, and communicate with them two-way, it is a lecture. Most of the time, we give a talk. We go prepared and bombard. And therefore, that doesn't work. And we say lecture is a bad method because we give a talk as an expert. I am expert of the subject. I'm telling you, you need to heard. Whatever you do it later on, none of my business. Lecture is very powerful method. It engages. You see, what does it do? It facilitates participants develop their opinion, develop their own opinion and understanding. How will they develop their own opinion and understanding when you don't give them choice to answer, think, contribute? If I say this is the best method to teach case effectively, 20 PPT, up 2.5 hours over, concluded. Thank you very much. You go. What is that?
So it should not be a monologue, sir. It should be a dialogue.
No, I'm not saying what should be. I'm not preaching. It will go to your record, your archive. Lecture is something. Lecture is a method where the facilitator try to facilitate the participants are equal part of that process. They contribute. There is back and forth. And in the process, they build their opinion. With the same illustration, there are two ways of communicating. And communicating content is also same. Content has not changed. Did we change the content? No. But that can be lecture when you are trying to engage with or involve the students where they are building their own opinion in the learning process. They are co-creator in the learning process. In other way, when I'm talking of expert talk, when Ratan Tata talk, he doesn't ask you to evaluate or say or feel happy or bad. He says what he does. He's an expert. He says what he has done. That is what you have called him because you want to hear his story. When you go to Toyota and say, Toyota, how do they maintain quality? They tell their story. That's expert talk. No? Jaya, you got it clearly?
Yes, sir. But sir, at times, like as I come from a HR background, so at times students ask, share some of your practical experiences. So sometimes we have a talk also. But yes,
No, as
yeah.
when see, there's a method in the
Yes,
class.
yes.
In the class, when we invite a guest, when you invite a CEO and ask him to share his opinion or his organization, he delivered a talk. One talk is good enough. When you teach somebody for 30 hours and you are delivering talk, 30 hours, 30 days, can he sit like a statue and listen to your sermon? That is where the challenge lies. I'm leaving it to you, not giving any judgment. Just think over it, ponder over. Next time when you go to class, just give it a thought. Are you going to lecturing or talking? Talking means you are going to be expert to deliver a talk, or you are going to lecture and making a student understand. You just
Sir,
ponder over
lecture,
it.
you have given a different aspect of lecture also, like
No, lecture is that only. We are talking, so we are talking everything because this is a mode of communication. But what we are talking is we are learning how to teach, isn't it?
Yeah.
So don't mix it. It's very simple. So wonderful. So it is for all of us that you need to see. So lecture is when you are trying to teach the complex concept, which has got multiple variables, multiple facets, that you try to help them understand through lecture. And in lecture, students are co-creators. They build their opinion. You don't dictate. It emerges through the discussion in lecture. In talk, it is one way. Talk is one way. And what is origin? This is another form where there is a specific call, appeal, announcement. Modi come and say, मित्रों, आज रात को 12 बजे से नोट बंद हो जाएगा. Yeah, let us build the nation more cleaner. On 2nd October, we will observe Swachhata Abhiyan. He is not asking opinion. He is giving you a call to participate. Abhi, हमारा अमृत काल चल रहा है, तो let us do something. All the institutions need to do 1, 2, 3. He has made a horizon, isn't it? So when you give a specific call for action to something, you call it an horizon. So what normally we as a teacher do, we lecture, and lecture is one very nice, powerful, useful method of teaching. Here we close this part and move to next. Are you all there with me?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes.
Any final question? Any final question on this? One question, final question, if it is there. Otherwise, we'll move to next.
Sir, in Horizon, is the audience or the, if I take the students, is their interest will be a matter point, or it's just merely a call for action?
No. Horizon is something which is done by the authority for a very given purpose. For example, you call your students to clean the class. So that's the horizon. It's a call for action by authority. If you don't have authority, nobody is going to hear. You go and ask something to do the same on the road, nobody is hearing. So it has to come from a point of authority. Secondly, it has to have a very bigger purpose where people have to, or people are desired to act. So in class, we don't do horizon normally.
Fine, sir. Thank you.
So here we close lecture, talk, and horizon, and we move to next. What is the case? What is the case?
Sir, can I tell?
Of course.
So this is Dr. Chavi. Case is a systematic put up of an exact situation that we are narrating. It may be related with some incidents, maybe a strategic move, some decision making, and it is a proper sequencing from where we introduce, we are having a body, we are having a discussion, and then we are having certain questions that are left unanswered. So it is a dummy situation that we create in front of the students, or we create it in front of some corporate people to have a live exposure to real-time problems.
So Chavi, you contradicted yourself. You started with saying it's a real life situation, and then you are saying it's a dummy situation. What is it?
Sir, in presence of students, we are creating a dummy situation.
Why?
And when
Why if it is a real life situation, how can, if you read somebody's autobiography in his absence, did it become a dummy?
Sir, it has been a story at that present time. Mahatma Gandhi said and did something, and we are narrating that.
But it doesn't become dummy, na? If you are my experiment with truth, if you read Mahatma Gandhi, His experiment with truth is his experiment with truth, which are real. If
Yes,
Mahatma
sir.
Gandhi is no more there, it doesn't mean that it become dummy or fictitious. It is his real story, or it is his real experiment that is written. We are reading it and we believe it, isn't it?
Okay, sir.
That's
Okay,
what
sir.
is the real situation. And when you watch a movie or serial or a series, it is written. It is a fictitious situation. The characters
Yes,
are
yes.
all imaginary because they are not real. But if you read, watch a biography or read a biography, it is not written. This is the fictitious character. Then there will not be a biography. So case is a real life situation. That's okay. So you
Okay,
need to be clear.
okay, sir.
It is not dummy.
Okay, okay.
Good. Now, what is caselet? Somebody else need to answer. I can see only 4 or 5 people are interacting. I would like all of you to interact, because you all are part of it. No? We have got 32 participants. So only 5 are interacting. The rest I don't know. What is a caselet?
Caselet maybe a like shorter case. In length, we can say short.
Okay. Is
And
it a shorter
caselets
length?
are very
How short
precise information.
No. If it is a shorter in length, how short should be the length to call it a caselet?
It should be around 1 to 2 pages, sir.
1 to 2 pages is a caselet, and more than that is a case. Anybody else having an opinion other than what we heard just? Anybody has an opinion?
Sir, caselets have very much precise information.
All right.
And you have to draw the information out of it. Like more it is based on interpretation and the analytical skill of the individual.
No, that comes to analysis. I'm not asking what is the analysis. I'm simply asking what is a caselet.
It is much precise form of a case.
So it is some precise form of a case which is called caselet. Anybody else? We have got 2 opinions. Somebody says that case is something which is more than 2 pages and it's a real life situation. Another person is saying, Ruchi is saying that case is precise form. If we take it through length, it becomes same. Otherwise, if there is anything else, it will be different. Anybody else having third opinion?
Sir, in caselet, no data will be there, like
case data is not there?
Case data, like no graph or something to study, like only the paragraph is there in short form,
Are you
in
sure?
precise form.
Are you
I'm
sure?
not.
Data
Yes.
or graph is depending upon the situation. No?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Because that's information. When you are saying if it is required to have a graphical representation, that information has to be there in whatever form. So last opinion, what is caselet?
Sir, I think there is a mentioned problem in a caselet and what the possible solutions can be.
Solution is also mentioned in the caselet. Okay. Now let us move to the next. What is a case study? What is a case study? We are all there, no? I will call names because most of people, I don't know why are they not speaking.
A case presented in the form of a story.
Okay, and case study?
Sir, in a case study, the reader will be given as a role. If you will be in that position, what the decision you might have took.
It is not there in case? Or caselet?
It is.
Then what is the difference? MS Vasu.
Sir?
Yeah, what is case study and what is caselet?
Yes, good evening, sir. In my opinion, caselet is a small problem or a small situation which could be described in a 1 page or 2. But if we talk about case studies, a series of incidents are interlocked and that has been presented in a form of case study.
To me, it looks similar because what you are saying doesn't differentiate.
It's a small situation in a caselet, but if we talk about a case, a series of incidences which are dependent on each other. For example, if this situation has happened, so this was the outcome, and after that outcome, some other problems have arisen or something like that, sir.
And what is case study?
This is case study. What am I explaining?
And then what is case? Then what is case?
Okay. Case and case study. Okay, got your question, sir.
So you're not with us, huh?
No, I'm with, my answer is not with what you are asking, sir.
Okay, so what
Sir,
is
I
now?
want to try. Sir, I
No.
want to try now.
Okay, please, most welcome.
Yeah. Because earlier, from past few seconds, I was thinking that case and case study, we use these two terms synonymously. But now, you know what I am able to comprehend here, case can be just an incidence, like series of events, or something has happened. And when we call it as a case study, it means we are ready to maybe study, or we are ready to teach or understand the case, maybe in a classroom or with somebody, with students.
Okay, let me make it more simpler. You all have been shared one piece of paper which is shared by Dr. Modak. Entertainment on hold.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What is it? Is it a caselet, case study?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Sir, it is a case study.
It's a case study. Okay.
Case study.
Okay, not case.
Sir, in case we talk about particular one thing, but in case study we see many of different things we study.
Good. All right. Now let me take you through some kind of illustration and elaboration. Normally we say that case is a systematically arranged problem reported from life. So first thing we need to be very clear. Case is not a fiction. Case is not a fiction. It is a real life situation. What has happened in organization that has been reported in a given format, and that is called case. It normally, if you see, as you have got legal cases, like all the decisions are being recorded and that become a legal case, or medical history is being recorded, that become a medical case. In the similar line, the business situations are also recorded and they become business cases. All right. A case has two prime parts. If you have read any case, you must have read, I'm sure. It has two prime parts. One is the context, another is the decision issue. The case that you have been shared, it has a context. What is the context? Context of the organization, context of the market. Who are the people running Mr. Thakkar and Mr. Manmani? Who are these people? This is the people context, where they come from, what is their background, what is MNB, what are his businesses. A lot of context is given. And then there are decision issues. All right. So every case has got two things. One is the context, other is the decision issue. And because it has got both, as we discussed, what do we teach the students? Making decisions and making judgment. We teach them decision making and using judgment. So in this, it provides a kind of good mix. In the given situation, they are being trained to understand how to approach to a decision. What can be the possibility? And when everybody participates, it becomes a very effective tool, because we can see multiple aspects. As you are saying, one way of looking at the thing, somebody is saying another. And when we facilitate through scientific way and try to understand, we get multiple facets, multiple possibilities of the given situation. And that what equipped us to take decision whenever it comes to real life situation. And there we can use the judgment, because we have understood, we have gone through variety of ways to look at the situation. We are not going blind, or we are not going with a very fixed mindset. We are trying to learn, analyze, understand, evaluate all the possibility and do that. And it becomes a good learning tool to apply concepts or theories, because you are approaching it to understand the decision situation in the given context with variety, all the variety of constraints and contexts that are there in the situation. You try to evaluate it, and to understand that, you apply your concepts and theories. All right. And that is how you approach it. So this is what is a case. Every case you will see there are characters, people. In this case also, Mr. Manmani, Mr. Thakkar, they are there as a characters. There are distributors, they are also characters. There is an organization which is also being characterized. Like, what is the organization? It has been leader. It has got most innovative kind of, most of the innovation, highest number of patents, leading in the world in terms of photovoltaic manufacturing and all. Then you have got the situation which is called climax. Climax is it has been leading, and then out of leading organization it is venturing into another business in the given case. And then there comes the anti-climax, that is all given. And then that anti-climax is settled through certain measures, and this is how the situation comes to a learning situation, that how the situation shapes, how does the various decision works, and those become the opportunity for us to assess with our concepts and theories and framework. When we put it, our scientific methods of learning, we try to understand it with clarity. Are we there together?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This is what is the case. All right. When you talk of caselet, the context doesn't become important. So it is more about the content part or the decision situation part. For example, if I got many people talking what to do in finance, if you are teaching somebody how to prepare the books of accounts, say how to prepare a journal, so you know the entry, what goes into which place, how to make a ledger, how to make a trial balance. Do you need a context? If it is a trial balance or a ledger for a manufacturing organization or for a service organization, does it make a difference?
No, sir.
So this is a format that you have to make. Ledger or trial balance or journal entry. You have got the rules of accounting you need to use, whether it is for one organization or another. Context does not make any difference. All right?
Yes, sir.
So you need to have a decision point. You can say this is where to make the entry. So you need not have the context overloading it. Then you need not have the case like what we have shared with you. You can have much precise, much simple thing, but it is not the length. What is underlined? It is not the length that makes a case or case study or caselet. It is the content part of that piece. If it has got context equally important for making the decisions in the decision situation, it is a case. If context doesn't matter, either it doesn't matter or you are dealing with the situation of participants who knows the context very much. So you need not take them through context. You can simply talk because it's very obvious. For example, I am teaching you how to handle a class. Now, context doesn't matter much. I can have less of the context and more of the content taking a specific situation because you all have been handling a class. You all are aware of it. I am talking something that how to navigate through new education policy. I believe you all are teacher, you know it. I say what is the maybe course outcome. I'm trying to help you developing a teaching learning plan. I know content, you know context, you know. I can simply teach you what goes where. I can do it fast. I can teach a specific point, why to put it here, why not to there. So when you are teaching somebody or facilitating somebody who know the context, for example, you are teaching industry people, you are training motivation on designing a motivation scheme for employees to HR managers. They know the context. You need to have more on that. How does the different motivational interventions act rather than talking of the situation much? They are aware of the situation. So in caselet, either the context is not relevant as we discussed in case of accounting, or it doesn't matter because the people or participants are equally aware of or more aware of that. Your focus is more on disease and issues. Are you there with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is how it is. It has nothing to do with length. It has nothing to do with length. Yes. Somebody want to say something?
Sir, we had no idea about caselet. We all were saying just 1 to 2 pages needed to be a caselet.
No. So it's not the page, because in 1 to 2 pages also you have got equally important context.
Yes, sir.
So when the context is important, then it's the case. Because in case you do analysis, do you do case analysis?
Yes, sir.
What do you do in case analysis? You try to find cause and effect relationship.
Yes, sir.
All right. So there is a context, there are the decision issues. You try to see in this given situation, if I take a decision, how does it work? That's what you do. In case of case-led, since the context is not that important, you try to quickly address certain decision issues in a more targeted way.
So can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Sir, there are some study materials in which, suppose I am teaching Industrial Dispute Act, and a small paragraph has been given that in this industry this thing happened and this was the act being applied to that. Can we refer it as a caselet?
Again, it looks like a caselet because
Yes.
the context is not given much. But where
Yes.
should you use it? The last line, if you read, when it comes to caselet and you have got such a situation that you are talking about, that should be used with the people who are acquainted with the situation. If you use the same without context to your freshers, it may not work because your freshers do not have a context. So one is, what is it? What is it is case is having context and decision point both. So that is how we largely use it for management students, as they come with no experience or little experience. So they are not much aware of the industrial context. So that is why case become very powerful tool. Caselet is normally used where it is a very general context, where everybody is aware of it. Or else we use it with the people who come with that domain and they know about that industry, that environment, that ecosystem. So there we don't waste time in context. We straightway go to decision issue.
Okay.
So in executive education, it is better because everybody has worked sufficiently in corporates. So they know the situation, they know the context. You can directly discuss the decision issue.
The cases in tax management, for example, computation of taxable income, they will also come under caselet.
Of course, because that doesn't matter. Na? If you are an individual household or you are talking income from salary, wherever you are getting the salary, does it say that if you are paid by Adani, it will be taxed at a lower rate? No, na?
Right.
So context doesn't make sense. You are having an income from a source, your tax is going to be a kind of. It's a more caselet.
It's guided by the provisions.
Exactly. So it's more a caselet because context doesn't matter. Whether your income of salary coming from Tata's or Ambani's or Reliance doesn't matter. Your salary is going to be taxed with the same rules. There's no variation. Context is not going to matter, isn't it?
Exactly.
Your household, your income from house property doesn't matter whether you have got a villa made in 1947 or you made it last year. Your income from house property is going to be taxed in the same way. Context has nothing to do.
Right.
So this is what is it. All right. Now comes the case study. Case studies are more a kind of situation which has got context, which is a case, of course. It has got decision issues. And what additionally it has got is the learnings in terms of action taken and consequences. It may also be about the best practices. For example, quality management at Toyota is a case study. You are given everything as a complete thing. There is a context, there is a decision issue, there is the decision taken, and there is a consequence of that decision. This is one set. And this all is going to be taken as a learning. You want to learn some certain things. How does certain decision has resulted into certain outcomes in the given context? You use it. It is not for discussion. It is more for understanding. It is more a lesson that we learn from that. Or it may be about the success story, best practices that we try to learn as a reference. These are the case studies. So case studies are also used in management programs because you want students to be exposed to certain, kind of best practices or some complete set, how the decision and situation interact, what learnings can be drawn from there. So as an illustration or as a piece of reference, you want them to study some case studies also. Are we clear about these three?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You will not
Yes,
miss
sir.
again. So we normally try to use either case or caselet. Sometimes we use case studies also. Caselets are normally used in the subjects like taxation or finance or kind of things, or in certain cases where context doesn't matter. Otherwise, majority where the context is important, we try to take case. Sometimes you use classic case studies because it gives you the complete understanding. How Toyota has been managing quality, how the Jio has been evolved, how the Jio has become the market leader, how did they disrupted the telecom. It is a learning. It is not a matter of discussion. You've got complete set. Where did they started? What was the idea? How did it work? So it gives you a reference. All right. Now, the final thing of this section that we wanted to discuss is we have got variety of methods. Case is one method of teaching. Case provide you context, content, decision issues, and there you have got opportunity to apply your concepts, frameworks, and tools that you have learned, theories and tools that you have learned in your course to take those decisions, analyze the situation, and arrive at the possible decisions. All right? All right.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
how to decide that whether Deepti should use case method or she should use lecture, or whether Gagan should go for a kind of simulation or do something else? What is the basis? To decide that, we have got 4 things to look at. When you have to choose that what should you do in your class today for a given topic, you should ask first question, does the context matter? If you have to teach laser entry, does the context matter, Deepti?
Not really, I guess.
Okay. If you have to teach how to arrive at a pricing, does the context matter, Gagan?
Yes, sir.
Matter?
Yes, sir.
If you have
Yes,
to
sir, it
decide,
matters.
if you have to decide about who was there, I think Jaya. Jaya, have you to decide about how the motivation works? Does the context matter?
Yes, sir.
So, if the context matter, then what should you use? Case.
Case.
If the
Case.
context matter, you should use case, C-A-S-E, case, not caselet, not case study. Are we clear? First one, case.
Right.
Because there you can expose them that how the situation and decisions are intervened and how to approach it, to understand it. And there they can apply the theory or concept that you have taught to arrive at the possibility, and then they can maneuver whatever way they want to. Is that okay? If it doesn't matter, then Deepti or other people who are teaching the topics can go for lecture. It's a good thing. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Same way, is the relationship between action and outcome certain? If you know that if there is an action, the outcome is going to be like this. There is a certainty. For example, if you increase the price, the demand is going to go down. Or if you increase the cost, your profit margins are going to go lower. If you increase your expenses, your profits are, your EBITDA is going to go down. There are the clear relationship between the action and outcome. Or suppose you are teaching somebody a calculus, or you are teaching CPM part, or you are teaching linear programming. Are the outcomes and actions very certain? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then you need not use case. Then you can go for demonstration, or you can go for lecture. Because you have to demonstrate, now how does the things work? You have to derive, you have to demonstrate that if there are really there are actions, what is going to be the outcome? It's a very fixed thing. Case has nothing to do. If you need to ask whether it is a skill that you are going to teach, or application, or knowledge, or realization. Based on that, you need to choose the method of teaching. If it is a skill, what should we do? What method should we use? We have got a list of methods.
Caselet.
Okay. Anybody else?
Role plays.
Who else? Okay.
Training.
Barkha. If it is a skill, what method should we use for teaching? which will have the best impact? Barka is not there. Hari Ram. People are not there. Suraj. Where have all these people gone?
Participants, please unmute yourself and just reply to this, sir.
Practice, sir. Practice.
I ask, if you have to teach a skill, which method should be best working? What should you choose? Ankit?
Sir, for teaching soft skills, we can go for role play or simulation. For teaching technical skills, we can go for projector software or something.
Who is this? Who is speaking?
Namrata Ladha.
Namrata. So, it's correct. When you have to teach a skill, you should do it. A skill is learned by doing. When you learn cycling, you all have learned cycling sometime. Where
Yes,
you thought
yes,
that
sir.
what is centripetal force, what is centrifugal force, where is the center of gravity, where is the center of mass, what is the trajectory, where we taught?
No, sir.
No, sir.
We learn cycling, na?
Yeah, sir.
By doing
How
it.
did we learn? We learn cycling
by doing it.
By doing.
By doing it.
By doing. So if you have to teach somebody a skill, you need not teach all those things like just we discussed. You need to put them doing it. So if you have to teach them communication skill, put them to role play. Let them communicate. If they have to teach some other skills, put them to that situation. So skills are learned best by doing. If it is application, then you need to expose them to variety of the situation where they apply and see how does it work. They need to apply in the variety of situations so that they know where to apply, how to apply, and what happens after you apply. Is that okay? If it is knowledge which is to be learned, then you need to put them through case methods or lecture, either way. So knowledge has to be gained where you need to facilitate them to understand what is what and also to know the variety of perspectives. And if it is realization, experience, again, you need to put them to expose doing the things in variety of situations. That is where you gain experience. You gain experience by doing only. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And if there are codified rule-based situations like taxation and kind of, there again case has little to do. Okay. So this is where you need to choose what you are going to do. What is your outcome that you are expecting? Based on that, you can choose the right method. So one part of our initial discussion when we discussed what you expect, you wanted to know how to choose the right method. Is the case only method? How to make the class more effective? If we don't use the case, then what? Nothing. I think that part is clear to all of us. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now you know that what is the case and what case is not, and when to use case and when not to use case. So we answered
Yes,
case is not the best method as a rule. Case is best effective in some situation. In other situation, it is not. Same way, the other pedagogical tools are best effective in the given situation. It is case to case. So case is a one good method whenever context become important. When the context become important, the case become best method. If context is not important, other methods can be used. When the relationships are not very clear, then case become good because you can create an opportunity to connect and integrate variety of situation. If it is very clear relationship, you are teaching linear programming, teach linear programming. Don't bother what to do with case. If you have to teach a skill, let them do, don't teach case. Case will not teach them the skill, they will teach. That will teach only them knowledge. So that way you can choose your best method. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Now comes the next block. Now comes the next block. We have got little time. So what will we do? What will we do? We will try to have a quick discussion on the case that I have shared with you, and then we will sum up that how can you handle a case most effectively. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So perfectly all right. You want any break or anything? If you want to have bio break, you can take it for 5 minutes.
No.
No. Perfectly all right. So then we will move to the next section, and we will try to take the case discussion forward. As of now, we understood that how to set the expectation for any class, and then what are the available tools, when they work, when they don't work, and how can we make a right choice for the given pedagogical tool. Here we are going for case discussion. You all have got the case. I hope you have read. If not, you can pretend that you have read. So we'll start the discussion. Who will start? Okay, let me put a question. Was MNB a profitable company, or is MNB a profitable company?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why is it profitable?
So it was having a major market chunk, and it was lowest cost for optical media and largest by 2006. About 90% export was there.
So you are saying somebody or all of you can make a note of the points, so that at the end we will see that what all we are going to get. So my question is MNB a profitable company? So I don't know who is speaking.
Dr. Chavi.
Yeah, Chavi. So you are saying it is profitable because
it was having market share and 90% export was there since 2006, and it was lowest cost and largest.
Export, then it has got lowest cost.
Yes, sir.
And sir, they were dealing with a highly technical product, and they were serving at a best quality.
Okay. So you are saying that somebody having market share make it profitable. Is it a clear-cut sign that if somebody has got market share, it is going to be profitable?
Yes, sir.
No, sir. Actually, no, sir. In the case, it is mentioned that they are having high margins as well.
So high margin make it profitable?
Not
exactly, sir.
No, sir. No.
So, however, it is mentioned in the case that the total revenue of the company went up by 24%. So we can assume through the given statement that the company was doing fairly well.
Okay, so you are saying that it's revenue grown 24%.
Yes, sir.
So revenue growth is one thing. What else? What else ensure that it is a profitable company? It is doing well.
So because they were going with the mass of production, and because of that, they were like having a lowest cost, and they were serving the customer well.
Okay.
So the number of employees in itself also states this.
I guess in the case it is mentioned that they are incurring high profits.
It is mentioned that they have got higher profit margin, not profit. It is written
No, high
margin.
profits.
Okay.
No, high profits also mentioned in the case. High margins and
high
high
margins,
profits.
high profit they are earning. Okay. Okay. All right. So this company is having low cost. It is growing at it grew 24% last quarter, and it has got high profit margin. What else? What else makes sure that it is doing well, it is profitable? Is that all?
Sir, its entry into home entertainment means it was expanding its market also.
So it is going for expansion.
Yes, sir.
It is going for
Sir, their
expansion.
presence in 82 nations.
Okay.
They were having a wide, marketing offices also. They were like 6 marketing offices they were having in a nation.
Okay.
So they are satisfying consumers' demand.
It has got customer satisfaction.
Yes, sir.
Satisfying.
Yes, sir.
They have
Yes,
got
sir.
customer satisfaction.
Yes, sir.
They have got repeat purchase.
Patron behavior of the customer, sir. Patronage, customer patronage.
Customer
It was
patronage,
happening strong
patronage
in
they
the
have got,
beginning.
yes. Customer patronage they have got. What else?
So use of the latest technology and redefining their distribution of um, home video products.
Okay.
Sir, they are serving better than their competitor.
Okay, they are competitive. They are
Advantages they are gaining.
They have
now,
got
yes.
competitive advantages.
Yes, sir.
So they are working on a planned strategy with where they have a sustainable model of low cost, high margin, high profit, and they have a deep client relationship with investment and capacity to growth.
Okay, so they have got they have got business growth. They have got business growth. They have got good client relationship. Are they doing anything to hold their employees or the people or on internal processes and learnings? Are they doing anything?
As it is not mentioned in the case, actually.
You just read it. They have got large number of employees.
They are having 4,500 employees. Yes, sir.
They have got diverse presence. They are also doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They are also doing great innovations and all.
Yes.
They have got their internal processes that has been making them grow continuously.
So
That
for
has made
internal
them,
process, they are using softwares, ERP softwares.
They have got ERP and all that is helping them to keep the processes under control, isn't it? Isn't it? If you
Yes,
write
sir.
all the write all these points, or if I have to categorize all these points, so I can see you started with talking about the market presence and customers. The one who started speaking, the first one, he started talking about market share, export, then growth, client patronage. The last gentleman talked about client patronage, customer satisfaction. So this was one section of factor you try to bring out for understanding the profitability or success of the organization. Or if I could say, performance of this MNB. First block was about what? Market share. Exports means that again, diversification of the market, customer satisfaction, client patronage, loyalty, etc. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then somebody started talking about low cost, revenue growth at 24%, expansion. That was another block, which was more dealing with the financials. And in both the blocks, it has been doing good. Then somebody started asking about the businesses processes like ERP and other processes. Then the learning and innovation, which was learning and innovation within the organization, where people were more towards growing up in terms of knowledge curve or learning curve. So broadly, you brought out 4 blocks. You did or not?
Yes, sir.
If you put all these 4 blocks separately, because you spoke, I try to write it separately. If you put 4 blocks and draw a line, you can have these 4 as something which was related to its performance on marketing, including customers, financials, business processes, and learning, internal learning and growing internally in terms of employees and all. If you see it, these 4 blocks together, what do you call it?
Sir, all these are helpful for the organization to achieve its goals.
No. When you see this, if you could put it in your paper, in your copy, and look at it, what title will you give it? Is it some framework that you use somewhere?
Strength and opportunities.
Strength, sir.
No. What were you deciding? You were deciding about the profitability or performance of the MNB. I asked the question. What was my question? For which you gave all these answers.
Whether the organization was profitable.
So I asked about a question which was related to performance of the organization, and you brought in all these points which I put in 4 blocks. So if you want to name this very diagram which has emerged out of your answer, what would you name? What name would you give it to?
Can we say, sir, having core competence?
No.
Financial performance?
No. What
So
framework
can we
do you... Yes.
Can
yes.
we relate it with the ETOP, environmental threat and opportunity?
You didn't talk of any environmental threat. Did you talk any competitors, any environmental threat?
So they are there. We have not achieved there.
We did not capture here. Na? What did we capture?
Yes,
that I'm asking. There is a lot of things. As we for this very block that I captured your responses for was in response to, is the organization profitable? And that is about its performance. And you brought certain factors which I can put, or you can see that it can be easily categorized into 4 blocks, which relates to its financial performance, customers and market, its business processes, and learning within the organization, learning, innovation, growth, etc. If you put this block, you put it in your block, what kind of name do you give it? Is it a framework?
So can we say these are the key capabilities areas of the organization?
No. Have you heard of balance scorecard?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What are the components of balance scorecard?
Financial, customers, and employees.
Okay, internal employees and learning, basically learning and
sir.
And business processes. So you saw this framework emerged out of it. When we are discussing, this framework emerged out of it when I pose a question, was the organization profitable? So to understand the profitability or performance of the organization, you pick certain factors which you organize, become a framework. Is that right or not?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, sir.
So if you draw it on board, if you write all these points in an order at all the places distinctly and capture it, and then we draw the line and say, what is this? And students say it is a balance scorecard. And then what did we do with this balance scorecard? We try to assess the performance of the organization. And if the MNB has been doing great, it has been growing. What has made it grow? It has been doing good in all 4 blocks. It has been doing good in all 4 blocks, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And therefore, if an organization has to sustain its growth and remain profitable, what is required? It has to perform well in all the 4 quadrants.
Internal, external, both.
All the 4 quadrants of the balance scorecard, just we try to understand. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Where did it come from? Did I teach you balance scorecard when I started teaching you or discussing you?
No, sir.
No,
when
sir.
It came at the conclusion of one component of the discussion. And where did you pick all these factors? In a situation from an organization. If you try to teach this framework of balance scorecard this way, will it be effective?
100%, sir.
Will a student remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Will they not believe that they brought it out?
They will.
Yes.
You were just the facilitator. What job did you do? You knew that where you are heading to, and you facilitated the discussion. At the end, you packed it up, and a student believe that it is what we have done. They go with a wow, oh, we derive it. They are all happy with that. You taught them one framework.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is where the effectiveness comes. Effectiveness comes when you try to use the situation and you know what you are teaching. What is your ultimate goal when you are using case? Case has 2 important aspects. One is context, other is decision point. And that decision has to be arrived at or approached to using concepts, theories, and framework. And we try to make them learn the second part. Using the context, we try to help them apply those theories, concepts, and framework to approach a decision. And this is where the case becomes very powerful tool. And if we try to facilitate, it become a useful way of using it. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
now,
yes,
sir. This was one part. If other thing you have to see, MNV was excellent. It was growing fantastically. It was in very high profitable business. It was leader in innovation. It has a niche market. It was having everything brightest that just we brought out through balance scorecard. Now it tried to venture into another business, and that was entertainment business. Was it a true forte of MNB? Was it a true forte of MNB? What was MNB great at? Making the storage devices, which include
Yes,
CD,
sir.
DVD, and all removable and
Digital versatile.
drive and all, hard disk and all. That was its forte. Where was it venturing? Entertainment. Where was
Entertainment.
it? Where was it entering? Entertainment. Now, when it was going to entertainment, this is a case of, this is a situation of diversification. You can use this case to discuss that when someone look for diversification, what may be the motivating factor. So one set you say, what were its motivating factor for going to that very sector for diversify? It's a strength in the inputs. It was not an entertainment company. What was it? It was a technology company. But the material which were used to copy and circulate entertainment stuff, CDs, DVDs and all, that was its forte. So it was motivated by taking it forward to the next segment of business, which was not its forte. You are there with me or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you can teach, you can use the same case to teach maybe the motivation of an organization, or where do they draw the inspiration to go for diversification. And if they go for diversification, what factor needs to be considered and how can it be navigated? That is another aspect you can teach in strategy. All right.
Yes,
and
sir.
here you have got the context, here you have got the action, and you have got the decision point. Was their decision to enter entertainment industry right? This is a decision point. Now, yeah, they will bring all the aspects that you can maneuver and try to come at what leads to diversification, what are the risks, where are the gaps, what can go wrong. Those factors you can very easily summarize with another framework. Will that be effective or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Third part, you can see they have got the people being appointed on that. I could have facilitated as I did the first segment. If I do the same and ask questions and try to capture, I think the time will not permit. And if we leave it open, that will also not be very judicious. So I am trying to become more lecturing rather than facilitating the case. So I give you a glimpse. I give you a glimpse that how can you facilitate in the first section when we captured the balance scorecard, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
But now I'm trying to quickly move on and give you some idea, because when you use, you should be able to do that. So that is just an interest of time. So whenever we have to use the time, we have to use it appropriately so that we can wind up the case appropriately. And time management is very, very critical. How long you can entertain the question? How can you invite participation? When you are discussing case, participation of every single person is very, very important. It should not be concentrated on some dominant people. You need to avoid, you need to hold, you can say we can come later, but you should try to take it to every possible person. More people participating, more aspects come. Here, there is nothing that we are trying to prove. Here, we are trying to unfold the possibilities. So more people participating is always in the interest of discussion. So I am doing that part. I'm skipping that part, compromising a little bit, because you all can see that we have little time and we need to conclude it. So second part, you can see that what kind of people they took to drive. They took money. What Manwani was doing? He was great person in FMCG. He has just joined MNB Entertainment, one of the leading entertainment recently, and that too in marketing. All right. He did not have any great neck of entertainment. Did you notice in the case?
Yes, sir.
So the gentleman whom they are going, they did not have any great understanding and experience of entertainment. The person who has to lead, he also did not have the great thing. And believing other areas of experience in FMCG distribution, they try to bring everything together. And then the kind of distribution channels they imagine, the way they analyze the consumer behavior and the market behavior, that all was more theoretical than the working on the ground. For example, a pan bidi shop will send the CD and DVD. He didn't have capability. Isn't it? A Kirana store will be selling CD and DVD. They didn't have capability. The distributors were not ready to put the pain, take the pain to take the things forward, but they appointed all that. So you can see that same case can be used for multiple purposes. You need to be very, very clear what you are going to use the case for. And based on your outcome, you should choose a case. How to take it forward, I will discuss with you something to wind up, because we should not lose on that part. So first thing, it comes getting started for both. When you have to start teaching with case method, it requires you to devote considerable time in developing the capabilities. And when it has to develop capabilities, it has got three aspects when you're talking of capability. First is you need to know the concepts very thoroughly. First thing, you need to have a thorough concepts. Then only you should use case method. Once you have got the thorough concept, you should, second part, you should choose the case with clear understanding what you are going to use this case for. How are you going to use the various inputs of the case to finally communicate and teach the concepts, framework, or tools. As we discussed, we use it to use the balance scorecard. We could have used it for diversification. We could have used it for the recruitment of the people in the leadership position. We could use it for deciding the distribution channel. So variety of things are there. As a facilitator, I know my class, I know my session outcome, I know my concepts, I'm thorough with it. I will choose it, and then I know what questions I need to put to start with. How will I navigate it? What points will I capture? Where I will avoid holding the discussion, wasting time, where I will run fast. That all I need to know. And the third part is, first you need to know your subject very well. You need to be thorough on the concept. Secondly, you need to choose the case with complete clarity, what concepts you are going to deliver, how are you going to navigate. Exactly like a film script or a story writing, you should have a clarity point by point. How are you going to navigate the discussion and how will you conclude that, as we discussed in balance scorecard. Third is, you need to have the facilitation skill. You need to have a facilitation skill that you need to develop. And all these three will develop your own way of managing the case. In terms of time, in terms of concept, in terms of theory. Bottom line is, at the end, when you conclude the case discussion, the takeaway should be in terms of the concepts or frameworks or tools that was required, and that should relate to your syllabus. Somebody asked how to balance between the syllabus and case discussion. Case discussion is not out of syllabus. It is a tool by which you are doing it. All right. So this case should complete your course. It should help your course to be completed, concepts to be learned. So that way, if you conclude the concepts and frameworks being learned, you can say this portion of topic is done. You can give them an assignment that I will discuss in a while, and it gets over. Is that okay? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Somebody asked, Deepthi, I think. Deepthi asked that how can we balance the case course completion?
Yes.
Is that making sense to you?
Yes, absolutely, sir.
Perfect. Now we have got a misconception that administering case is all theater and drum. You need to have high energy. You need to run around. You need to modulate your voice. you do everything with all form of action and a voice to make the case effective. That's not correct. You can handle the case in any way. The conditions remains the same, that you are able to close it with the clear understanding of the concepts, frameworks, and theories that you want to teach. You can do all the drama and energy, or you can be doing it very quietly, thoughtfully, in a softer spoken way. You can engage the case equally effectively, because what you have to do to make the learning happen, you have to pose the right question. You have to navigate it. You can do it by drama, that can add extra effect. You can bring in humor also, that is okay. If you don't bring, it's still by asking the right question, having the right sequence, you can take it to the right set of learning. Is that possible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
that misconception is not required, that somebody shouts more, so he is an effective facilitator. If somebody talks softly, he is not a good facilitator. It is not the decibel of the voice or the action. It is the content that he is using to facilitate the session. Then the next comes shaping the learning environment. This is very, very critical for teaching case method. The climate has to be completely supportive. Because if I ask Jaya, I guess, that can you demonstrate how did you teach? That should not be offensive. And that is where I try to clarify that it is just a common example we all can relate to. There is no ambiguity. It is not to have Jaya, anybody could have done that. The important was not Jaya, the important was not communication course. The important was how do we take it forward so that we can bring clarity to some aspect as a common shared reference. If you are asking your student to share, if the environment is not supportive, they try to dominate each other, criticize each other, or you try to dominate them speaking and making judgment, you are an idiot. You don't come prepared. You people don't study. I don't know why have you come to the program. This will not work. So if you have to facilitate case, you have to have very supportive climate where you can challenge, you can take risk, or you can allow them to attempt something which is out of the box, and you should have the ability to manage. For that, the rules, norms, and guidelines should be set in the beginning, that we are going to use case method to teach this session or this very class, and we are going to spend time like this, and this is how we are going to take it forward. More in terms of how they will participate, what will be the rules for attendance, and other things should be clearly indicated, and there should be an agreement. The student should agree to it. It should not be by force. So we need to set the rules well in advance, create a conducive environment so that discussion happen in a more open manner where people are open to contribute and learn without having any judgment. Otherwise, if they start pretending, the entire purpose will be defeated. And for that, you need to know your students whom you are talking. So I was talking to faculty members, so I can talk in a way. If I would have been talking to a student, I would have talked in a different way. If I have to talk to executives, I would take different way of facilitation, different way of discussion. So what questions, how to facilitate, you all need to know. This is one part. Second, you need to know their background. That will help you first choose the right set of instrument, whether it is case, caselet, or case study. And second, designing your question and facilitation. So from both the point of view, you need to know your students very well. Better you know your students, more effectively you can handle the class. Is that okay?
Sir.
Yes. Yes.
Any questions as of now?
No, sir.
So what all did we discuss? We discussed that before starting, we should have certain preparation. Style is something that you need to develop your own. There is no perfect or more effective style. Whatever way you can meet the purpose of your discussion is best. And you have to create the conducive environment. You have to shape the learning environment by setting the rule, having the openness, and you should know your student for both choosing the right set of caselet or case study, and also designing the discussion, that how will you start, how will you go for probing and widening the discussion, and how will you conclude it. For all this purpose, you need to. We discuss that thoroughness of the preparation of class content and process that enables greater flexibility in discussion is inevitable, is very, very important. And it begins with the identification of the small number of core learning objectives, as we discussed, that what you want to teach. That has to be very clear in the beginning. And a case is not to be used, the same case is not to be used for everything. And if it is to be used, it should be facilitated in sections, in phases. In one class, you don't try to teach everything. You need to identify which are the key concepts or objectives you want to meet, 1, 2, or 3, depending upon the time that you are spending. Purpose is to allow discussion to help understanding. Discussion should lead to understanding. It is not imposition. That is where the case becomes different. If you do lecturing or talking using the case, then case is a flop. Case is a useless thing. You are unnecessarily making it more complicated and discouraging. If you have to do lecture, we just discussed, you can do lecture. If you have to make a case discussion, it should happen in its natural way. And as we discussed, that all the aspects should come from all possible corners, from all possible students. And for that, you need to have limited objective, depending upon what much time is there, what level of participants you are interacting, how much are they prepared. You can give them something as a pre-read. You can have some quick quiz. You can ask for some submission so that you ensure that when they come, you will be able to accelerate and expedite your discussion time. You can save it. And it all includes, the planning includes your structure, sequencing, timing, types of questions you are going to do, how will you organize your board. As we discussed that 4 quadrant, if you have to create, how to, well in advance, you know, that is there in your mind. You are trying to put the point in an order with different color pen. And then when you write a block and write at the top, see what is this, see what is this, and you write it, people say, oh, wonderful, we got it right. So that all has to be part of your planning. Is it okay? Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Now, when it comes to learning part, this was the teacher part. Now, when it comes to learning part from the student side, we know that there has to be a pre-class preparation. That is very important. And the thumb rule is they should spend at least 3 times more than the time is going to be there for discussion. How should they do it? They should take the case, read it first. They should try to point out important points. They should try to identify the decision points. What are the decision issues? They should clearly identify. And then those issues relate to which kind of concepts and theory. These kind of homeworks, they need to be trained. So before you go for whole hog case presentation, when you organize your orientation program, you need to have some orientation for some time where you can train your students to understand these parts. Otherwise, suddenly in one class, you see already they come from undergrad or schools where they are not having exposure of such thing. Then suddenly you go with all your expectations, believing that they will be able to align with, and it doesn't work, and we feel frustrated. There is no need to frustrate. Now, if we also venture into something which we have never been exposed to, we are not going to be the best in first attempt. So we need to orient them what case is, how to approach it, and we should try to help them prepare it in advance. They should have the conceptual clarity and contextual familiarity, so that they need to understand how to look at it, how to identify it, how to separate it and not mix it. And then the important point is demonstration, that how can they identify the problem, so that when they come prepared, they have got something to help you discuss faster and focus on application of those concepts and theory and sum it up. Otherwise, major portion will go in doing all this part, context and concepts here. When it comes to summarizing it and binding it up, it will be missed out, and therefore learning will not be complete. So this is very, very important, that there has to be a proper training for pre-class preparation. That is very important. Then in class participation, if everything is there, the faculty is well organized, structured, knows everything. He has got the blueprint in mind. He will try to pose everything and things will connect. The students have to be participant. Faculty has only role to make sure that discussion happen nicely. And that is where the realization among the student comes. They have created the framework. They have brought the theory. And that's where the difference comes. When a student feel they have done it, they have created it, they have identified it, they feel wow. Learning happen most effectively. So faculty has to be just facilitator. The students speak, listen, understand, criticize, support, contradict, supplement, illustrate in their own ideas, and they comment on others as well. And important point, consensus is not required at all, nor it is aimed. You should not try to converse everything together at the end. It is not a debate. In debate, you need to have a conversion. There should be an opinion to conclude. Here it is not. What you are doing, you are training them for decision making, where they need to have a judgment. And for that, they need to have a perspective. They need to know all the possibility, so that when they take their decision at the point, they have considered as many possibilities as possible. And more they have considered, more likely they are going to take a better decision or good decision. So purpose is to expose them to all, and there are no right solutions. Don't try to give them right solution. Even if you are telling them something and they ask what has happened in the case, what did that gentleman do, what did the Manmani did last, you can ask them, you find out, or later on you can say that this is how it happened. But that is not part of your discussion. The purpose of case discussion is not to give them or make them have the right answer, because there are no right answers. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And purpose is same, since we are helping them learn making decision using judgment. We are trying to expose them to all the possibility with scientific approach. This is very critical, that many a time we don't do that. After your session is over, case discussion is over, what is that they are doing? You can ask them to summarize something, or you can give them another matching situation. For example, suppose you are teaching them balance scorecard for MNB, you can give them another organization and say, you try to prepare a balance scorecard for it, and then comment that whether the organization is performing well or not. Ask them to choose another organization of their choice and do the balance scorecard. What is happening? First, they feel that they have done it. They are going with Hango. And when they are attempting to do it for another organization, it is further going to be, sorry, my battery is getting low. Just a minute, give me 1 minute time. Okay. So when they do it on their own, if there are any confusion, that also get clarified immediately. And then you can have the submission and assess it. So you give them some marks, 2 marks, 5 marks, whatever your system permits. You, after every time you teach a concept, you have chosen the case with a very clear thing. You are teaching a part of syllabus. You are teaching a concept, theory, or framework. You have used the case. You have done it well. Your students go happy. Then you ask them to submit and you give them a marks also. Your job is done. The learning is going to be very, very high. The motivation is going to be very high, and they feel rewarded. Otherwise, what happens? After case discussion, we forget it. It just becomes a kind of event where after the event is over, there is nothing else to remember. So if you make it full circle, and with the reward also, next time, those who have got more, they will try to retain it. They will become competitive. Those who have got less, they will attempt to make, more marks or better perform. That way it will continue, and that will help you sustain it. Okay. So finally, what did we do? Any questions, first of all? In the interest of time, we try to do. Why did I spend substantial time? Because you need to clarify the misconception. Anytime when you interact with such kind of group, had it been students, it was not that longer. It would have been shorter because they have lesser conditioning. You all are faculty, so we wanted to have some clarity before we learn it. So I took little time to build that first of all, you should know whatever tool you are using, why are you using? If you don't have that context, you will be using it wrongly. So I try to see that they are teaching decision-making using judgment. And then that theory, concepts, framework, tool is to be taught in that sense. And that is why there are no right answers. Why there are no right answers? Because you're not teaching them a mathematical formula or derivation. You're teaching them making judgment. How does our mother know how much salt is good for rajma and what is good for dal? Judgment. Does she use a weighing machine, 3.2 grams for 5 people? Dal? Or
No, sir.
It's all judgment. How did that judgment came? By variety
Out
of
of experience.
So variety of situations she has been doing it. She has been observing, she is doing. So you are teaching your students like that. And therefore you cannot teach them exact answer because the situation is not going to be the same. You need to develop an ability to understand the situation, approach a decision, have all the possibility considered. It has to be very inclusive, well considered way of decision making. And that is why there are no right answers. So you are training them to first have all the theories and concepts understood in the right context and perspective. Secondly, learn to apply it. Fourthly, try to see that where to take assumption, what assumption to take, where to stop it, how to observe it. And for that purpose, this case is important. And that is where I took time to sensitize you that what is what. I hope you got some idea about it. Did you get some idea?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Any questions?
Yes,
Any questions? Finally, any questions? So Jaya, you are not feeling bad for your submission. You facilitated the discussion.
Yes, sir, of course, absolutely. The delivery part may change at the class, but when it comes to demonstrate, it changes. So
no, that was just a way to understand.
Yes.
All right. So what are you going to take away from this session, Mayank?
Sir. Hello.
Yes, Mayank.
Is it audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, now it is very understand from you about the caselet and case study. And can we make, is it possible to make it by taking one case and if possible to make the case or case study the same and what we are expecting the outcome will be maybe from each, the caselet and the case study or the case will be the outcome is also will be different or the same?
Obviously, see, all are to teach. You must understand. Good that I asked question. Unknowingly I asked, but you put a right thing to discuss at the end. We are teaching them concepts, theories, framework, tools. All right?
Yes, sir.
Now, to teach that effectively, there are different ways. As I discussed, if you have to learn a skill, what should you do? You should do it. If you want to learn cycling, go and take a cycle, sit on that. You want to learn swimming, jump into the swimming pool with you. Without that, don't jump. All right? So, whatever you are teaching, to teach it effectively, there are various tools. So, when the context is important, situation is uncertain, there is variety of possibilities known and unknown, case is a good way to relate to it all. If you have got things very certain, you are teaching accounting, ledger entry and all, a case has nothing to do because that does not change with any situation. You need to know it the way it is. What is debit and what is credit? Case has nothing to do. You need to know debit and credit rules. You need to know the golden rules. So there you can use lecture. So my purpose was to understand that what you are teaching. So you are teaching management graduates decision making and making judgment. And for that, there are various things that goes as input. It is not one thing. So as a teacher and as an institution, we use variety of pedagogical intervention. We need to have the very clear idea what will work good in given situation with a given set of students. So you have got a topic, you have got a participant, you have got a concept, and you have got a faculty with his style to the given participant at a given level of learner. How will the things work best? That you should make. If you are using a case, how can you facilitate?
So can I share my
let Mayank part get over. Did you get the answer?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Yes.
Yes, sir. So the focus should be on meeting the learning objectives.
Of course, learning
today,
outcome.
Yes. Today I learned that no single method can make you meet all the learning objectives. So you have to have a variety, and your focus should be on meeting the learning objectives.
Exactly.
So method doesn't matter.
And what can be the learning outcome? You may have to make them learn a skill or application or theory. For each, you need to have a different way. Within the theory or concept, you may have the context which is important to understand, to decide upon, or it may be universal context. You just need to know. For example, when the doctors have to treat patients and they go to their 4th year of learning, they are being exposed to their apprenticeship, 1 year, resident doctorship. Why? Because they need to know the variety, because it's a dynamic situation. They cannot go and see you have fever, I'm giving you medicine. Whether that fever has one region or other, they need to know the diagnosis. They need to know the variety. There are finer things. So they are being put as a residentship, which is apprenticeship, and they do it. So you need to know that part.
And so how you beautifully you set the learning objectives right at the start of the session. So this is how we should practice.
Otherwise at the end, we would not have understood what, because we have to solve our problem. We are here to have something which is of our interest. Good. Who can be another one? Hariram?
Sir, Dr. Charul, I think, raised the hand for asking the question.
Okay, please. I couldn't see. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Dr. Charul?
I'm just looking at the list, asking random names, because some people I could not recognize whether they spoke or not. So just like that. Okay, Hariram is there. Kumkum. I think people have already concluded the session. Huh? So it is an indication that we should also officially declare it over. Huh? In any case, they are not there.
No, sir.
Neeraj, you are there?
This is not the case. Yes, sir. No, many of them are, yes, sir. And I want to tell my takeaway from me is this, to teach different things. We should adopt different methods. But like for giving them knowledge, we can do it with the talk. And for teaching them skills, we should make them practice. We should put them in the situation so that they can perform there well and learn what to do or what not to do.
Wonderful. And I hope that it was not repetition of what you have learned earlier.
Yes, sir. Yes,
no, sir. It was not a repetition.
It was.
So that is nice that we did not repeat, and we could try to have something new. So thank you very much for being such a engaging participant. It was distant, so technology has its own limitation. We cannot see it. Otherwise, I could have got more participation. I would have reached out to more participants individually, and we could have more engaging discussion that way, try to spend more time. And considering the time for so much of discussion, we try to justify it in a way. Maybe some other time we can take other aspects. So thank you very much. Thank you to Vivek sir, IPS Academy, Dr. Kalicharan ji, and each one of you. Wish you happy learning. Have a wonderful Sunday. Saturday is already
Thank you,
over.
sir.
So
Thank you,
all the
sir.
very best.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'll
Thank
sign
you,
off.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for just enlightening us with your word of wisdom. And definitely this is the 6th day of program, and the things which you have delivered to us is very, very unique. We have not heard about these type of methodology which you have discussed, like balanced scorecard. This is the first time which we are just listening about this particular method to adopt while solving the case studies. And the way you have just discussed the difference between the caselet and case study, we were thinking that all the methodology are same, and now we are having a different perspective to use all those things in the classroom. And the choices of pedagogy, then context, then difference between the lecture, talk, and horizon. So these are totally the new topic pedagogy we have learned from you, sir. And definitely in near future we would like to hear more from you, so that we can improve the teaching methodology in the classroom. And I am sure that the learning which we have received from this particular session, all the participants, faculty members will be using in the classroom, will be more engaging to the student, and will be focusing all such learning using the case method. So thank you so much, sir. On behalf of IBMR IPS Academy, I just thank you for enlightening us with your word of wisdom. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Two things you should remember. Every time you go to class, ask whether you're going to deliver a talk or lecture.
Yes.
Try
yes,
to make it more a lecture. Engage it.
Yes.
And secondly, what you are going to teach, is the case useful or caselet useful? That you try to be clear. All right. Two things, even if you start doing, you will see, you will have a better joy of having a class. So even 2 questions you ask every session, you are going to deliver. All right. All the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a
Yes,
wonderful
sir.
Sunday. Bye-bye. Good night.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
sir.
Good night, sir. Take care.
Yeah.
Charan, sir, I want to thank you that you every day you are bringing some genius to us and giving us something new every day. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Neeraj sir. Yeah, so there is something important to announce. I think only half of the participants are left in the meeting. As we are winding up this online session, the first week of this particular faculty development program, which is sponsored by AICTE, Training and Learning Academy. So at the end of this first week of online mode, we have to conduct a quiz. So I was planning to conduct that quiz by today itself, but it is too late to conduct. So definitely I'll be planning it by tomorrow, and I'll be sharing that Google link to attempt that quiz. So that would be the evaluation for week 1, and that is again very important part of this AICTE faculty development program, because we have to work on 2 things. One is the attendance part, that is 80%, and another is the marks which we to secure for getting the certificate. So I'm sure that you are very attentive and attended all the session attentively. So we'll be conducting the quiz tomorrow, and from Monday onwards we are starting the offline schedule of this particular faculty development program. So from Monday onwards we'll be having session somewhere around 9:30 to 5 o'clock. So just kindly attend all those sessions, and breakfast and lunch will be served at IPS Academy IBMR campus itself. So all the participants, those who will be reporting at somewhere around 8:50 to 9 o'clock, so they can directly go to the VIP mess for taking the breakfast, because we'll be winding up the breakfast at 9:30, and from 9:30 onwards we'll be having the regular session from day 1 itself. And at afternoon we'll be having lunch, which will again served at VIP mess itself. So kindly be ready for a power packed learning session from Monday onwards. And if any doubt you people are having, then definitely you can ask. Yeah.
Sir, what will be the timing for quiz?
Timing, ma'am, I'll be just writing in the group itself. Timing will be somewhere around afternoon to night. So you'll be getting a huge window for attempting that quiz.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Any other question or doubt? Okay. So,
sir, where will be the FDP conduct at IBMR?
Yeah, FDP will be conducted at the auditorium of Central Placement Cell. So what you have to do is, when you will be entering into the campus, you have to ask for Central Placement Cell, and you'll be reaching over there. So after parking your vehicle, if you are coming through your own vehicle, then definitely you have to park on the parking, and then you can move to the Central Placement Cell auditorium itself, right? Yeah, any other thing you people would like to ask?
So the quiz will be tomorrow in the afternoon onwards.
Yes. Quiz will be conducting tomorrow at afternoon. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you so much, all the participants, for joining this particular faculty development program and making this online week a huge success. So I just congratulate to all the participants of this particular faculty development program. Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah. Happy learning.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Dr.
Thank you.
Kalicharan sir.